Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I will wait a moment, see if anybody wants to hop on. Otherwise, enjoy the replay. Hope everybody has their coffee at the ready. I ran down to my Starbucks that is literally just below me in about 2 minutes flat. Very proud of myself. Us women on the move need to keep ourselves rolling, get functional. So if you are logging on, hopping on for a view, or if you are going to watch the replay, I'd love to know where you're watching from. Go ahead and drop it in the comments. Let me know. I myself am coming in from Los Angeles, sunny California. Hello, hello. Welcome. So yeah, sunny California, which is not so sunny at the moment, but I guarantee we'll hit about 100 come 10 a.m. my time. Good morning from Texas, Carolina. It's nice to hear from you. Hey. I'm loving all those hearts. I'm loving all the likes. All right, so we're about 2 minutes in, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, if you start to come in the middle of it, feel free to drop in a comment, say hello, tell me where you're watching from, and get ready for some deep information. All right, so Women on the Move is a global women's empowerment network that is dedicated to fostering a digital environment where professionals can collectively share, engage, collaborate, and connect. We promote social networking to help women achieve their dreams at a much faster rate with higher results. We are an inclusive environment to all women from all walks of life. And please don't forget to follow us on social media platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Just look for the logo for Women on the Move and you will be good to go. Okay, so the purpose of today's talk is that this is really going to be your guide to manifesting the love life that you've always dreamed of. Whether you're single or in a relationship or married or maybe having some hard times, this is for you. And what you are going to learn today is that you will learn how to energetically show up in your love life. I'm going to use that word energy a lot today. So if it's something that you're not too familiar with, you can think of it as your mindset. How do we really shift our mindsets? How does our mindset really work? How does it tick? How does it get triggered throughout our lives, right? Throughout our love lives. You will learn what it takes to experience true love as a strong, independent woman. No more belittling ourselves, no more quieting that voice. We get to be who we are in our love lives and really excel at it. And we're really going to see how you can align that inner goddess of yours, that real badass version of yourself, with your actions to really create the life of your dreams. Hello, hello from West Palm. Ooh, oh, I see you lived in LA. Very cool. Well, I look forward to you being a part of the group today. We will chat later and talk all things about, I want to know where everybody lives and what everything is cool to do there, because one of these days I'll probably move out of LA and I need to know where to go. All right, so as I mentioned, my name is Jenna Ponaman. I am a dating and relationship coach for career-driven women that are really ready to buckle down and find love. So I help you cultivate a life of happiness, intimacy, fun, and really have a partner by your side to support you in every which way in creating that life. Now, essentially, I'm helping you build a thriving romantic relationship, but really underneath it all, we're going to really cultivate self-love, because that way the love that you're so deeply desiring is no longer a fantasy. It's going to become a reality. So I hope it's okay, but I'd really love to share something with you that just completely changed my life. Is that good? Drop me a yes, maybe a comment, a like. No? That's okay. I'm going to share it anyways because I think it's helpful for you guys. So I have this really cool life right now. I have a ton of fun. I'm just totally surrounded by love. There are my likes. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I really am surrounded by love all the time. And I have this awesome, awesome partner. But it was not that way for a very long time. I did not have that. And I used to walk around life with this chip on my shoulder of really thinking men were too intimidated to date me. Maybe I just dated one asshole after another. And I finally just got to this point where I told myself that I don't need love. I can just beat the game of love because I'm going to be there for me. And even though on the surface, I had this amazing life, I had a career, this big booming business, and I was social, I was fit, it still felt like something was missing. And it turned out that I still desired love, no matter how hard I tried to distract myself from it. So I decided to give it another try. But this time, I'm not going to wait around for the universe to bring my forever man to me, right? Not that I don't think the universe has something to do with it, but I want to give it some help. I'm not just going to wait for it to happen for me and let the cards fall as they may. And to do that, I had to change something about how I viewed the world of cultivating love, because clearly thinking about men being assholes wasn't helping me. So that's when I discovered that love always starts with you. In order to create a loving relationship with someone else, you have to love yourself. Everything in your relationship is a reflection of how you perceive yourself deep down, even if it's unconscious. So bottom line, if you don't feel comfortable in your own skin and excited to be who you are, how can you create that environment with another person? Well, luckily I'm here to show you how. That is the purpose for today. So get ready. You're going to get a lot of information. Have a pen and paper if you want to take some notes. And if at any point this is getting a little overwhelming, that's okay. Just drop a comment, ask a question. I'll go ahead and repeat myself if I need to. But nonetheless, who is ready to upgrade their love lives or enrich the life they've already got? Drop me a like. Say yes. All right. So without further ado, here we go. So big question, how does it work overall? Now at the foundation, our love experience is consisting of two different types of energy or mindset. So we have anabolic energy and catabolic energy. Anabolic energy is this super feel-good mojo that really ignites your fire. It's your ideas, your creativity really comes alive. It's the space where you really are the best version of yourself. Catabolic energy, on the other hand, is this weight that just holds you back from really being you and getting everything that you desire and deserve. So our brains tend to think positive and negative. It's kind of like that, but we don't want to keep things so cut and dry because, as we're going to see moving forward, from moment to moment you experience these levels, anabolic and catabolic, but you're experiencing them to a certain percentage, right? So I keep doing this motion because we kind of go through a whole spectrum of anabolic to catabolic energy. So whether it's our day-to-day interactions or whether we're in stress, stress tends to trigger that catabolic or kind of that heavy weight that we might feel on our shoulders, the stress, the anxiety, the fears, frustrations. And we kind of phase out of that as we start to kind of reason with ourselves and get a little bit more confident and build that lack of judgment and clarity up towards the anabolic food chain. Okay? So as we get into these different levels, it could be kind of hard for you to distinguish, well, hey, what do I sit with? And I just want to encourage you to remember, all of these levels you experience at some point in time. I experience them, you experience them. So it's nothing to feel bad about, feel ashamed about if you hear something and it starts to make you feel a little bit of anxiety, or maybe that you want to judge yourself for it. Fear not, you are not alone. We are all there to support one another. We all feel it. It is okay. Okay, now when we move through these levels, I want you to go ahead and really take the time to see if it resonates. How much does it resonate? You're going to have some levels that you find you really respond to, and some that might feel like it doesn't happen as often. And that's good information to know. okay? You want to be able to have that awareness around where does my mind like to go in certain situations around my love life so that ultimately you can learn how to shift them. So the overall goal is that we really want to get as high up into those levels, into that anabolic energy as possible, and reduce the amount of catabolic energy as best as we can, even when we're in stress mode. And you're going to learn how to do that today. Okay, so any questions so far about generally anabolic, catabolic energy? Okay, good. So let's go ahead and dive in because we've got lots of ground to cover in a short amount of time. So level 1, deep breath. I call this the unlovable. And this level is completely 100% catabolic, bottom of the ladder. Someone who's experiencing this level usually is so closed in and drained that all she can do is really feel powerless and out of control of her own life. She feels alone, withdrawn, and ultimately without love. Like she's not good enough or pretty enough or smart enough to attract a quality guy. So someone at this level would think things like, I don't deserve love. I'm not lovable. There might be a lot of confusion and overwhelm here. Like, why can't I find a partner to like me? I don't understand. I'm trying so many things and it's just not working. Or if you're in a relationship and you're having issues with your partner, I can't see how we can get out of this. I give up. I don't know what to do. I'm going to leave it all to them to figure it out. You might as well give up, right? So this is a general sum of level 1 energy, the unlovable. Now, where might you think you experience this level? Is it just in stress? Or is it maybe when you're looking for support from a partner, even if it's family partners or your romantic partners, and you just don't seem to get that support you're looking for? What is it for you? If you think this really resonates with you, I want you to go ahead and drop a number 1 into that comment box there. And you don't have to do it now. You could do that in the replay, or you can even send me a private message. I know that this level is a little hard for some people to really come forward with because it's really admitting that I have insecurity, I have fears, I have anxieties. But again, it's okay because we all do, right? So again, drop some comments in there if you really do resonate at this level. Maybe tell me if you want to share with me what's going on for you. Maybe it's something that you really can't get yourself out of. Because level 1 energy is kind of like you have this big picture view when you're in a great mental state, right? When your energy is really high, but the lower you get into that catabolic energy, the more your vision and your view of the world starts to get like this. And level 1 is like this itty bitty hole that you just can't get out of. And sometimes you need a little support to do that. So I am here for you. Drop a comment if you need that help. Okay, so we're going to move into level 2. Level 2 is the love resistant. And I also like to call this level the fighter because people at this level tend to have a lot of spunk, a lot of attitude, but they've got a lot of conflict too. So there's some pluses and minuses, obviously, to having this level. There's still a good amount of catabolic energy here, but you're still a step up from level 1, that unlovable, okay? So this girl has always got to be right, and she's got this strong opinion about men. So my story that I mentioned a second ago, men are a-holes, that was me. Now she can be pretty controlling in relationships, and she has a tendency to feel like nobody ever meets her standards. So, as I mentioned with me, if you're dating someone, you might get what you want temporarily. You'll have some of those small short-term wins, but in the long term, you'll still end up feeling kind of inadequate or like the relationship's inadequate, and ultimately you'll end up leaving it. So you'll spend a lot of time on focusing on what's wrong with men rather than all the opportunities on what can go right in that relationship. And therefore you lose out on a lot of opportunities for finding love. So underneath it all, there's a lot of anger, resentment, and pride. Examples, as you can probably predict by now, but I'll give you some, is fuck love. All men out there are assholes. Nobody meets my standards. I do everything to be what he wants, but he just doesn't put any effort in. Men are too intimidated by me. You can't trust men. They just want you for a piece of ass. Why can't a man just commit? Fuck men. I'm just going to focus on my career and live the single life. Ladies, a lot of us, I'm sure, are there or have been there at some point in time, right? Or how about if you're in a relationship? Oh, well, he'd be the perfect guy if he dressed better, had a better job, etc. So, full transparency, I just mentioned a few times, I'm big on this level. In fact, before I started my journey, I pretty much lived in this. So I want to know from you, if you really experience level 2 where you can see where in your life it shows up for you, I want you to drop a number 2 and say, yes, I understand this one. I'm there. I do acknowledge this. If you're watching the replay, again, let me know. I want to know. And while you're thinking about this, I really want you to really think of what's causing it. Take this a step further, because it's one thing to be aware of it, but we want to dig a little bit deeper. What triggers that level 2 energy to show up? What thoughts do you have that really make you feel like the love resistant? And what would you be without those thoughts? What's possible for you if you could drop the act of the love resistant? Okay, any questions so far? All right, cool. So we're going to go ahead and move into level 3. This is the cooperator. Now, this is the first level where you start to experience some anabolic energy. So yay, we're climbing up that ladder. And at this level, everything kind of is what it is. You live your life and it's nothing spectacular, but at least, you know, there's something there and you're getting by. Guys might still be assholes, but they just don't know any better. And on the plus side, you're not about to let others hold you back from finding love. And you can avoid and block negativity from other people now because that anabolic energy is there. So the only other thing is you might overlook some underlying issues in that relationship or when you meet a man in order to get what you want right here, right now. So an example of this could be, well, I guess I'm loved. Sure. I love you and you seem to love me too. So yeah, I'm okay with staying in this relationship. You know, I'm seeing this guy and things are fine and nothing spectacular, but it is what it is. It sucks that it didn't work out, but better to end it now than when things got serious. Oh, he didn't mean to cancel our date. He was just stressed with work, right? There's that rationalizer, that cooperator. I don't want to rock the boat. I'll just keep my opinion to myself, okay? So, who here is the rationalizer? Who here doesn't want to rock the boat? It's really common when you first get into a relationship. We have that honeymoon phase, right? Where we're so excited to start this new thing with this new person, and we want it to keep feeling amazing. So when we start to move out of that phase, getting into serious stuff, and you start to see things that kind of do irk you a little bit, but I don't want to say anything because this still feels really good, and I want to keep it moving, you know, so just keep it quiet. So you can see there's some pluses and minuses to that, right? On one hand, sure, you're in that relationship. Things might seem really great at that surface level, but if we don't approach it right here, right now, we can drop back down to that level 2 and ultimately to level 1. Okay? So that can definitely happen. However, you can also have the possibility to move higher up into that ladder, as we're about to talk about in a moment with level 4, that if you really Elevate yourself, still continue to prioritize yourself as you've started to do in level 3. Eventually, that feeling of lesser judgment, or more compassion towards yourself is going to elevate into level 4, which will be the caregiver, or this really feeling of love, right? And I'll talk about that in a second again. So if you are someone in level 3 that is more of that kind of negative response where you feel like maybe you get stuck in the rationalizer mode and you really want to keep things comfortable, I want you to really take a moment and ask yourself that instead of just tolerating what your life is like right now, when are you going to be ready to stand up and take action for yourself, right? Take that ownership of yourself. You have the control. It's not always about being comfortable. We want to take risks so that we can ultimately get to where we want to go and move through that fear. So any questions here with level 3? Otherwise, I'm going to move on because I know we're getting close on time. Okay, cool. So level 4, the caregiver. All right, this is one of my favorites. So if you're a coach, a teacher, a nurse, any type of caretakery role, you're definitely going to resonate here. And I think women in general tend to resonate a lot with this level because we are emotional beings. I mean, men are too, but we really are especially emotional. We kind of drive through everything with our hearts. So nonetheless, you're a total giver and a lover here. You lay your heart out on the line, and you would literally do anything for your man. If you have kids, you do anything for your kids. It really doesn't matter what anyone does for you, because all you care about is what's best for them. And you are really their biggest cheerleader and ultimate support system. Your loyalty is immeasurable, and you really take little personally. So as you can see, we're going up the ladder as we go up higher. That degree of judgment or self-judgment sort of dissipates. It gets smaller and smaller. So maybe at the surface level, as you're hearing some of this, you're like, whoa, what? No, not me. That's okay. That might mean that you might be resonating in somewhere else right now, and that's totally okay. But there's definitely moments that you might experience this act of selflessness, in a sense, that you feel love ultimately by giving it, right? Because as we said at the top of this topic, what's the conversation? Love starts with you. And this is the first level where you really get to feel into that. I generate my own love. I feel it because I give it, right? It feels good to give love. So you're just going to be out there. I love you. All I want to do is make you happy. You're my everything. He'd really love it if I made him a cup of coffee in the morning before work. So it makes me feel good to make that for him. I'm there for you, for thick and thin. I got you, boo, right? That's all that level 4 energy. So again, the pluses and minuses here is that on one hand, sure, you really feel great and feel that love, and people around you are probably really feeling it too, and it's this really awesome community that you've generated for yourself of love. But if you continue to move that way and stay at this level, it's very common that you can experience a level 4 burnout, which is finally saying, hey, what about me? And we drop right back down to level 1. Okay? So drop a comment, let me know if you feel level 4, if you can understand where that's coming up for you. And I'm going to dive right into level 5, which is the opportunist. Now, this is the energy where everything is opportunity. This is like my powerhouse couples of Michelle Obama and Barack Obama with George Clooney and his wife Amal. That is this level where everything is an opportunity. Every relationship, every heartache, every warm, fuzzy feeling that you get is another opportunity to find love. And failure is not even an option because you get to choose how you want to love and be loved. Love comes from right here with you, and it's always up to you for how you want to experience it. So some examples would be, let's see how much love we can create in this space together. Something isn't working in this relationship, so let's get together and figure it out, right? So where do we go from here, right? Or even if you date online, ooh, he's the opposite of me. I can't wait to see how this will play out. Okay, so I think it's safe to say Level 5 is pretty amazing, right? It's very high energy. You really can't go wrong here. So even in this level, as you'll see, when you increase that opportunity in your love life, it's going to start to seep into other areas of your life, like finances, business, your health. Okay, so super great place to be in. Now I'm going to combine level 6 and 7 because they kind of go together quite nicely. And I call this the romantic goddess. So you've really moved past self-mastery and into self-transcendence. You're one with your love. You're so deeply connected to yourself and your higher coach or that higher goddess of yours that you can feel love with whomever and whatever you choose. And you can see it being reflected back to you. No matter how someone might be physically or emotionally responding to you directly, you still feel it resonating from them. Because love essentially is an illusion to you. It's just free flowing throughout the universe. It's all around me and I can generate it whenever and however I want. So this can seem a bit out there, right? But if you're kind of looking from the outside in, maybe you haven't experienced this yet, maybe you haven't had a partner where you've really had that connection with, that can be hard to imagine, right? But that's why we're here today. The purpose is to get to this place. That's the goal, that feeling of connection, that free flowing, lack of judgment, that you've got it, it's already right here. You can create it whenever and however you want. Some thoughts that might resonate with you is your love is my love. We're completely connected. We're one. I don't know what it is about this guy, but I just feel it in my bones that he's the one, right? So think about how you might experience these levels. If you're not quite sure, drop me some comments, ask me some questions. I will certainly help you figure it out. If it helps, if you don't feel it maybe in love and relationships, you can definitely feel it around areas of community, like when you're at church or synagogue, with family, that feeling of closeness and togetherness where you just kind of feel like you can really be intuitive and feel what they're feeling. That's a lot of level 6 and level 7 energy. Because really it's not coming from those people around you, it's just coming from you and connecting and being reflected like a mirror back to those people around you. So again, the goal is to get all the way up to those levels, right? So how do we grow there? If we don't have a lot of it, how can we get there? So I call it the triple A's: awareness, acceptance, and action. Awareness that energy is there in the present moment. Acceptance and releasing the judgment of what you're experiencing, because only then can you actually begin to shift it. And taking action in spite of the energy that you're experiencing. So the more awareness that we develop around moment-to-moment energy, the more that we empower ourselves to choose how we want to react. So therefore, you choose to resonate and vibe in those higher levels. So higher anabolic energy, you want to live there as much as possible. I've said it over and over to get it really hammered and ingrained in your mind. We want to get there. It feels good, right? And when we create that love from an anabolic space, the love that's reflected back to you is also anabolic. So only from that space can you really grow with your partner to achieve true love and fulfillment. Okay, so now that you've gone through the true love experience, I put a lot of information in there. Super, super fast, kind of a general overview of these 7 levels. So my wish for you is to really take all of this information, which was a lot of information, and I want to see how much you can take with you and put it in your back pocket and go out into your life and just be observant of what's happening. So to support you, I want you to either create an energy journal, identify those moments that really show up for you, even if they're just the parts that trigger you. Write it down so you can be more observant of what's showing up mostly. You can also email me and schedule a consult where we can really break down those levels and personally create an action plan, a personalized action plan. Sorry, it's morning. It's early for me. In fact, if you would all like, I have a program especially for you today that goes deep into the anabolic and catabolic energy. In fact, You take a personalized quiz online, 20 minutes. It will give you the actual statistical analysis of what your energy and your mindset lives, where it lives. And I'll go ahead and go through a debrief with you so we can really come up with that personalized action plan. So if you want information on that, this normally comes in at $200, but because you guys spent the time with me today, I want you to come in and do it for $97. So you're just paying to purchase that assessment because it's coming through third-party program, but I really want to sit there and help you with that support, okay? So you have that option. You can come in and consult with me. We'll go ahead and really break that down for you. Or I want you to go onto Instagram, tag me, tag Women on the Move, and I want to see that journal of yours. Show me what's coming up for you, okay? So there you have it. Thank you for spending your morning with me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Again, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me, to the Women on the Move group. You can come and follow me at Jenna Ponaman or Jenna Ponaman Coaching, which is my page linked here. Or you can check out my website at jennaponamancoaching.com. All right, I look forward to seeing you all soon. Take care.